Good evening. Scotland's Health Secretary has said she would find it hard to believe that the Scottish Parliament is immune from sexual harassment. Shona Robeson said any such incidents must be reported. Andrew Black reports.
Holyrood is at the centre of Scottish public life, but in its corridors, committee rooms and elsewhere, concern that people working here have been subjected to sexual harassment. Those concerns have come following similar revelations at Westminster and beyond. Scottish Health Secretary Shona Robeson had this to say.
There is clearly a focus at the moment about sexual harassment in a number of institutions, and I would find it hard to believe that the Scottish Parliament is immune from that. And what I would say to anybody is it's really important these issues are brought out, and people obviously should report it to the parliamentary authorities, to the police possibly.
Labour MSP Monica Lennon leads Holyrood's cross-party group on women's health.
What is particularly ugly about this kind of conduct in Westminster or the Scottish Parliament or in any parliament or local government, for example, is where you have people setting standards, lawmakers, people who are creating policy and should be creating safeguards for all of society. If people in those positions who have been trusted to go to Parliament and represent all their constituents, if they are breaching that trust, then that is just unforgivable.
Mary Scanlon was a Conservative MSP for more than 15 years. Looking back, she says she was subjected to unacceptable behaviour.
I think quite often I probably turned a deaf ear and a blind eye to things that maybe mildly or just a wee bit more upset me. And I just thought, well, that's part and parcel of the job, just kind of man up to it, if you like. I think now I would be more willing to say, that's not acceptable. Please don't say that to me again or to anyone else, male or female.
Scottish Parliament management says there are robust procedures in place to deal with sexual harassment. They've encouraged anyone who experiences or witnesses any incidents to report them. Andrew Black, reporting Scotland.
Nicola Sturgeon is to apologise on behalf of the Scottish Government to gay men convicted of sexual offences that have since been abolished. The First Minister will make her statement a week on Tuesday. Graham Stewart reports.
The lives of gay men have been transformed in recent years. While sexual acts between women were never specifically outlawed, it was 1980, 13 years after England, before sex between men was legalised for those over the age of 21. In 1994, the age of consent was reduced to 18. Then in 2001, it was lowered to 16, creating equality with heterosexuals. Those convicted before that date will now receive an apology at Holyrood from the First Minister for their treatment under previous governments. The apology will coincide with new legislation giving an automatic pardon to all men, alive or dead, who were convicted of sexual offences which have now been abolished. Those who have convictions will also be able to apply to have them removed from central records. Campaigners say it will help draw a line under a dark period of Scotland's past.
In the 1980s, you could have been sent to jail for being gay or bisexual in Scotland. So that would have meant, obviously, a prison sentence, being outed to your community, potentially to your employer, but also carrying that criminal record with you up until now. So it's not just the impact that it will have had in the past for those individuals, but that will have come with them through their lives. So the impact has been, for some individuals, huge.
The Scottish Government say the bill will right an historic wrong and give justice to those who found themselves unjustly criminalised simply because of who they loved. Graham Stewart, reporting Scotland.
A walker has been rescued after being blown over and falling into a burn in the Cairngorms. Rescue teams battled stormy conditions during an 8-hour mission last night and carried the injured man on a stretcher for several miles. Weather conditions prevented the helicopter getting closer. Well, better weather today in the hills. It's been a glorious day for many parts of the country. Let's get the weather prospects for this evening and the start of the week from Christopher.
Sally, thank you very much indeed. Good evening to you. Yes, some lovely blue skies across many parts of the country today. These pictures coming in from our weather watchers. But tonight, those clear conditions mean it will be cold and indeed frosty. Here's the chart. Still a few showers around across parts of the northeast and the Northern Isles. Those quickly fading away to leave all of us dry. but clear, cold and frosty. Temperatures in towns and cities down to freezing. In the countryside, perhaps as low as -2 or -3. It's all thanks to an air of high pressure sitting overhead, but tomorrow that starts to slip its way southwards, introducing these weather fronts off the Atlantic, bringing some thickening cloud and a few spots of rain. But to start tomorrow morning, it's a cold, bright, frosty start, and then the cloud will slowly build through the course of the day, coming in from the Atlantic. Fairly high clouds, and with it a few spots of light rain, mainly across the Highlands and Islands, perhaps a few elsewhere. And once again it will be chilly. Temperatures there by mid-afternoon, perhaps around just 8 or 9 degrees at best. That's the forecast for now.
Thank you very much. And that's all from us for now. Our next update's just after the 10 o'clock news. Until then, from everyone here on the team in Glasgow, have a very good evening. Bye for now.